Omnisphere 2, Ableton Wavetable, the built-in stock plugin. Lately Serum. Performed live, yes, and I love performing. Outside of music, I love learning about myself, learning about humanity, just becoming a better person every day, trying to improve myself. Sonic 2001 by Dr. Dre. I think the most important thing is make the music you love making. Always stay connected to why you do this. If you make the music you're passionate about, I feel like that's a better long-term strategy than making music that's popular, fits in. Every day, keep getting better, just become the best you can be. Honestly, it's great. I'm wide awake. My energy is more stable. I honestly don't need coffee. It's for about a month it was tough, but I'm completely back to normal, better than ever actually. Part of the value of Drums That Knock is everything is royalty free. So when you get it, you get a placement, you don't owe any splits. It's very simple, very clean. Dealing with royalty splits on a sample pack is always challenging, always difficult, takes a lot of work. Some producers speak out about this, about looking down on it, and I totally understand. It's not for everybody, but for me and my business model, this works great. It's an amazing way I can give value to you, and it's very simple. Part of the reason why Drums That Knock is the #1 drum kit ever is because of the massive amount of value I'm able to give. Some people think that you should withhold value because of scarcity ideas, but I'm about abundance and giving away value. Definitely not your job to help Kanye West. It's only your job to be the best version of you that you can be. Practice, music theory, chord plugins, listening to music that you like the chord progressions on and learning how to play it. Practice, practice, practice. Does it look like I need shampoo? Thing but Google Drive. Do not use Google Drive. It is terrible getting a link from Google Drive. Dropbox is good, MP3s are good. Lately I've been using Dropbox. It's okay. I feel like we need a better solution. Love this question. A deluxe DECAP pizza is fresh mozzarella, fresh tomatoes, fresh basil, and the dough. Just very simple, some herbs, salt, very simple. Part of learning as a producer is studying how producers that you like structure their music and then trying that structure. After you try that, you'll find your own style, and it's just a good way to get started, to see what people you look up to are already doing. Collecting and playing hand percussion, I like collecting little instruments from all over the world. I don't play a traditional drum set. Thank you for that, I appreciate it. To be honest, it would be a full-time job if I listened to everyone's beats and sent me beats. So right now the answer is no. Hopefully in the future I could have a platform where it's easier, but right now I cannot. I'm making a drum kit. I just focus on making a bunch of sounds, tons and tons of sounds, hundreds, thousands of sounds. And then when I'm putting it together, I find the ones that stand out to me the most and start constructing it that way. EQ, one thing I learned is to focus more on cutting than boosting. And also, if you're just getting started, go on YouTube and watch EQ tutorials. There's a lot of good stuff out there. Love learning about human consciousness, spirituality. Since I shaved my head, I've been getting into razors and shaving technique. Pizza, I love pizza. That's a huge one. Honestly, at this point, I don't have a favorite plugin to distort sounds because it's more about how you use the plugins than the plugins themselves. I know that's not the question you wanted to hear, but it's about trial and error. It's not about the plugin. Exact reason I made Drums That Knock. I wanted to have all the sounds ready to go. I'm spending the hours EQing and tweaking. All you have to do is load them up and just slightly dial in the level and you're good to go. When I was first starting out, I had no money, no income from music, so I downloaded crack plugins. At this point, I make a living producing, making sounds. I don't use crack plugins anymore, ever. To keep it simple, I'm a fan of supporting companies that make great software. The concept of writer's block, in my opinion, is you're trying to force a result. You're trying to make it happen. Sometimes taking a break, stepping away, doing something else, going for a walk in nature, listening to music that inspires you, those can all help. You've already tried all that stuff stepping away and you haven't been able to make music like in months, for example. What I think is the best thing to do is just create every single day. Don't judge it, just mix it down, no judgment, just make music every day. It happens for me, like if I haven't made music in a while, I won't feel like making it. It's like a self-fulfilling thing. there's a lot of fear in there and those kind of things. But the best thing I do is just step in, make it, even if it's whack, just keep going. It every day. Eventually, I feel like some magic happens. The first beat will be whack, the second beat will be whack, third will be whack, fourth one will be okay, fifth one might inspire you, give you chills. I feel like just keep going at that point. I have the same question as you. In my life, I have not watched that many movies, except for the classics. What do you guys recommend to me? Go with Spectrasonics Trillion. Yes. Come to relax. I'm here in San Francisco at Ocean Beach. I like going to Land's End, which is right down the street. It's an amazing trail. That's my favorite way to decompress. I do, but I find lately nothing beats investing in my business. I feel like your business is your best investment. Do not have a DECAP beat club. Is that something you would want? What would that mean? What is a DECAP beat club? Woo! And then I add distortion. I have a video on my YouTube page about this exact thing. So go to youtube.com/decapmusic or swipe up and check it out. Sneakers that are comfortable, that just feel good, but I'm not like a sneakerhead. I don't collect tons of sneakers. I prefer having other people who are really good at it do it, so I can focus on the things that I'm really good at. Music, sound design, all that kind of stuff. What inspired me to start making beats is I was in a rap group called Young Tribe in 9th grade, and I had a 4-track tape deck to record, and we needed beats. So I bought an HR-16 drum machine, and I had a Boss SP202 sampler that I got for my birthday the year before, and that's how I started making beats, because we needed them to rap over. From there, that's when I got into Cool Edit on the computer, and then I started making beats in Cool Edit, and moved away from the tape deck. That I wanted to start selling beats, and when I was in 9th grade, I sold my first 4-pack of beats to this rapper named Stick Figure, who is still making music today, and I think I sold 4 to him for $50, and that made me so happy. At the time, that was around the year 2000, and those beats were recorded on a tape deck, which then I got a sound card to send it to my computer, and then I bought an external CD burner to burn the CD and had to mail it to him. I did, and I love it. I went with the 440i. That someone told me that stuck with me is to build your fan base one fan at a time, to have your own brand that's successful, focus on gaining 1,000 diehard fans, and so one fan at a time. Every fan should be celebrated. That someone else told me is focus on creating maximum value. Don't focus on getting anything, focus on giving. When you're always giving and not concerned about what you get back, I think you hit this zen-like place where you're giving value. Become really good at giving a lot of value, that's when you can start receiving. But it's not about how can I get money, how can I get fans. It's more about what you can give. Me. I create the sounds from the DNA. When I design them, they're already ready to go. So as soon as you start a new project, you literally load the sounds into your drum rack or your drum sampler, and you don't have to EQ and tweak. It's done. J Dilla, Dr. Dre. I think that the word God has a lot of weird connotations and religious connotations, but I do believe in one whole mind. I do believe there is another intelligence that connects us all. I'm happy to hear that. I made it for you. After that, a bunch of stories back. Go check it out. The spec'd out 16-inch MacBook Pro. I love it. But you can get by on much less with production. Quad core or better is good. 16 gig of RAM or better is good. What I understand is you can't copyright a name, but you can trademark it. It gives you more protection if you trademark it than if you do nothing, but as long as you use the name publicly, you don't legally have to trademark it. Oh, really now? Crazy, 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 crazy. I think it's been like 15 though, right? Dude, appreciate it. If I absolutely had to be a dinosaur, it would be a dinosaur that eats amazing Italian pizza, makes hit records, and is bald. First starting out, definitely don't have expectations of it doing great. What you want to do is get information. So you want to build your fan base, see how it does, see what works for you, see what doesn't. So your next rollout will be that much better. You don't want to clip the vocals, don't put the clipper on the master, only put it on the drum bus. When I first heard Woo-Ha by Busta Rhymes in 5th grade, that's when I knew that I had a love for music. I felt chills all over my body when I heard that track. I actually don't have a morning routine. It's just really what that day requires. I do that thing. I talked about this a bunch of stories back, but you know, in your case, it's been happening for weeks. Just make music and stop judging it. Create it, mix it down, and just say, I don't have beat block. I'm just making whack beats right now. What that'll do is just get you out of the judgmental mind state, and instead you'll be just creating. And then you'll try new things, just have fun with it, and eventually whatever you're going through will pass. Meditation is amazing. I do meditate, and a lot of people say it's hard to meditate, or I don't know how, or I'm not good at it. I literally I don't do anything. I sit down, quiet my mind a little bit, focus on my breath, and when I think a thought, go back to the breath. Such thing as being good at meditating, and I've been meditating for a long time, and I haven't gotten any better or worse at it, because it's just the action of deciding to sit down and breathe and close your eyes that will get you into alignment. Down and quiet your mind and focus on your breath. There's going to be thoughts that come up. Anytime you think a thought, just go back into your body and breathe some more. Slow down your breathing to half pace, and just keep coming back to the breath every thought. That's how you meditate. When I say go back into your body, some people ask, what does that mean? It means that you shift your attention to being aware of your body, aware of your feet, aware of your legs, aware of your stomach, aware of your neck, aware of your face, and out of your thinking mind. The situation is different. As a producer, it happens. Like, you're going to be in business situations where you're taken advantage of. As you get pro, you're going to want a good attorney. Ultimately, from that situation you were taken advantage of, what can you learn from it? How can you never allow that to happen again? How can you make your business tighter so that doesn't happen again? I'm careful about what I pick. I say yes to the things that align with my vision, and I say no to the things that aren't in alignment. And ultimately, from that situation you were taken advantage of, what can you learn from it? How can you never allow that to happen again? How can you make your business tighter so that doesn't happen again? I'm careful about what I pick. I say yes to the things that align with my vision, and I say no to the things that aren't in alignment. So I never get overwhelmed with too much to do. I do the things that will take my vision to the next level. There's a lot of producers I look up to, but ultimately it's me, because I believe in myself. I think it's healthy for you to be your favorite producer. No cap. Really, there are no steps. It's always a creative activity. I'm always refining my process. The end product, I just want to be the best sounds I can possibly make that I would actually use. I absolutely love producers from South Africa. I play hand percussion, and I started learning guitar and bass. I'm by no means an expert at it, but I play a little bit. 15. Focus on taking on the projects that are going to get you to the next level and turning down the ones that are not. If you use Drums That Knock and get a placement, you do not have to give me credit, but you can spread the word about me and Drums That Knock. This is a puzzle, and I fuck with life. In snare sound design, the fundamental is almost always a sine wave. The DAW I use for most stuff is Ableton. I don't use Logic, but I know a lot of producers who love recording and making music in Logic. A lot of people make hits in Logic. Either one you pick, you'll be great. Just learn it. I use Ableton for most of my production. I used to record in it, but now I prefer recording, mixing workflow in Pro Tools. But hey man, anything you use is going to be fine. Is whatever you choose, learn it fully, understand how to use it, because the DAW is not the limitation. It's your knowledge of it. Do layer, it's usually two different kinds of elements, like maybe a snare with a clap, or a snare and clap with some kind of percussion like an open hi-hat on top of it. I never layer more than one kick because there's no point. I'd rather the kick be clean in one tone. And for people who layer multiple kicks, try soloing the kick and see if it really sounds better with a bunch of them together. I find, at least for my ear, I don't like multiple kicks at the same time. When you're layering something like 2 kicks or 2 basses or something, you can always fall into phase problems. So make sure your phase is on point when you do that. You can normalize at mix down in Ableton, but to do all my normalization, I do that in Pro Tools.